Hello, my friend. It's Kristen, and I am here with a meditation moment and intuitive guidance on the theme of friendship and transition in friendships. This was inspired by my own reflections on the friendships in my life and when I've been disappointed or have felt betrayed and had to realize that maybe I hadn't been seeing that certain friendships of mine had evolved in a way or devolved that were no longer serving me. And there can be a lot of grief around that, as much as a family or, a lover. And so I wanted to take this moment to get some messages that hopefully are inspiring and supportive in your friendship journey. And so as always, take a moment and take some deep breaths in through our heart. Take a deep breath in and breathe out the day, wherever you are in your day. And as I continue to light this sage that's so clearing, sage as a plant is always here for us and to support whatever we want to clear out. It's here to support us in letting go, purifying, making space in our hearts and our minds and our bodies for what we want to bring in. And so we can breathe into our beautiful, loving heart and breathe out. Right? And breathe in and feel the heart expand and feel like a golden ray of light is expanding from the heart all the way to your mind, lighting up your mind with this beautiful heart intelligence, and the mind is serving the heart, the healing and whole heart. I say healing because we're always in a process of healing our whole lives. So there's never to be any shame around the work that we are doing and continue to do, because that's the beauty of being human and growing and self-awareness. And while we're here, and if any friendships come up or relationships, old or new, and just allow the sage to help begin to clear things out. Begin to clear any thoughts of betrayal or looping negative thoughts of repeating the situation over and over of what they've done or what you've done, or maybe you felt like you allowed yourself to be walked all over or taken advantage of. And so breathe into compassion and forgiveness for yourself, and breathe out that we're people that are looking for community and connection. And sometimes in an effort to be in belonging, we compromise ourselves in a way that we don't mean to. And you get to be in that learning process and to take in that wisdom that you have now. And so we breathe in to our wisdom and breathe out that person. Just breathe them out and feel their energy can kind of gathering, and breathe in and breathe them out. And be at peace in this moment. As I always say, a meditative moment doesn't have to be an event, although it's lovely when we create that space for ourselves, but we can have it at the grocery store. We can have it typing on our computers and organizing our files. Just feel your feet on the floor. Feel your seat in the chair. Feel that you're in your body and you have a body. And you have a heart that beats. And so feel your heart that beats and feel here and feel present. And that you've got yourself right now. Right? So collecting anything of that person that's in the body, just letting it collect, letting it weave in the cleansing of the sage and the cleansing smoke and fire, and get rid of them for right now. Just let it go. Be here now. And we'll see. We'll see what we are paying attention to right now in this situation, in this relationship, in this friendship, in this community. There's so much on love, you know. That's the one. There's so much on love. Excuse me. And I don't really see too many friendship readings. I see general readings and I see general things about work, but not a lot geared towards friendships. And they're so important in our lives, right? And I always say, too, that a lot of times our friends can be the guidance of who we're going to be in relationship with sometimes. So I found that when I got better girlfriends, when I was able to have more stable relationships based in reciprocity with my girlfriends, it opened up way better situations for me romantically, because I was creating relationships that were safe, that felt, as I said, reciprocal. Reciprocity is just one of my favorite words, right? It's the give and the take, and it's equality. And sometimes they need more, sometimes you need more, and it never should feel overwhelming either way, right? It should never feel like you're always the one that has to call, or if it wasn't for me, this relationship wouldn't happen. You know, every relationship is different, of course, and what we expect from everybody, different friends, is different. Abundance. I just got this in the other reading, so there's something here with abundance, plenty, generosity, fertility, ripeness, inner riches, harvest. So you're wanting to be in friendships that feel abundant. Let me get two at the moment. You're wanting to be in friendships that feel abundant. You are wanting someone who isn't necessarily going to be jealous or in competition with you. You don't want to feel like you have to shrink or be invisible so that somebody else can feel better about themselves. There can be this real subtleness sometimes, because it doesn't mean that the relationship or the friendship is completely all bad, right? It can be these subtle little things that kind of culminate, that make you feel like you can't trust them 100%, like you can't tell your deepest thing to that person. There's something that holds you back. You know, maybe you revealed something and that person reacted in a way that made you feel belittled, or maybe there's a real thing that I'm getting here, that you were said something very vulnerable and important, and then that person told somebody else, and in a sort of off the cuff kind of way. And it was like, wait a second, like this was really serious for me. I mean, there was like some sort of emotion behind it, or you were having a real growth moment and you were expressing something really vulnerable and insightful. And then it was sort of like made a little bit light of, because ultimately that person couldn't handle the depth of it. And what's really interesting is when somebody kind of can come across, especially when they come across in the community at large, as a certain way, but then you know how they are personally, right? Like you've seen flaws, and we all have flaws. You know, we all have the shadow, and it's important that we have shadow, because we wouldn't have light without shadow. But sometimes shadow can be a little bit slippery. And so it's wanting abundance. It's wanting creativity. It's wanting to feel that your own inner growth is not taken advantage of. That as you rise up, it's not just sort of being used against you. Someone out there is going to know what that means. Like your own, like it's being used against you. Like you're rising up, you're elevating, and it's being sort of like, there's sort of like the other side of the debate is negative about it, and it's something that you're actually really proud of, or something within yourself that you're excited that you've worked on this personally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. It's like the more resilient you are, the more that resilience is sort of being poked at. Peace. I have to say, these two cards just came up in my love relationship reading. I'm just going to pull a third one here. Because it's so there's something in the air about every single relationship in our lives, about wanting to have inner peace and to feel at peace with the people that are in our lives. We need to feel at peace. It shouldn't be, like, you go to lunch with that one friend and there's this sort of like, this feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, okay, I know that I should go to lunch with them because I do like them because, we have this in common and that in common, and, we used to get along like this or that, but there's something that makes you feel like this doesn't feel right to me. I don't really quite feel seen, or I feel like I have to walk on eggshells with that person. So we have the joyous, which is delight and self-expression, interaction, goodwill, and the clinging, illumination, devotion, all-consuming passion. This clinging card to me feels like the devil in tarot, which now every card has its light and its dark. So even the devil has a positive, it can be like this real kick-ass relationship where people really want to be together and they're consumed with each other, but it's sort of like in alignment. And but then of course there's the shadow aspect of it, which is obsession, which is addiction. You could be dealing with somebody who does have an addiction of some sort: drugs, alcohol, gambling, shopping, eating disorder. And of course there's always compassion, but when someone's putting their stuff on you and it's beyond what you can handle, or this is somebody that you're offering support and help to, and they're like, no, I don't want any help. I mean, I've got this. And that they've gone to like 5 therapists about something and none of them have worked out, kind of thing. Or you want to be there in a certain way and it's a little bit belittling, like, no, you really can't help me. Like, no, you're not strong enough, you're not wise enough, you don't have what it takes. You can't handle me. You can't handle me. You can't handle my trauma. You can't handle what I've been through. And so it sort of feels, it's tapping into that place of lack of self-worth. When really you want to feel abundance. You want to feel abundant around your friends. You want to feel like they raise you up. Like when you're in low self-worth, they're reminding you. They're like, hey, what's going on here? You want to be with people that are part of the solution to the things you're trying to accomplish or to what you're going through. You want people that can really be there to give advice. And it's not about candy covered, advice, or like, just think positive, or, but you want to be in people that can be in truth with you and can say the direct thing. When people say the hard things and they don't avoid it, that's always a sign of love, when people really speak with you, but with compassion and with discretion. Not just you this, you that. Something in the air with relationships. It is currently November of 2023. So I always feel like the fall is such a transformative time. And whenever you get this reading, you can feel that there is that essence or energy or transformative kind of energy going on whenever and wherever this is for you right now. And it comes with a certain death, right? Because we can't have the new life, or like the leaves fall down, they die, and then in the spring something new comes up. And that's the cycle of life. The cycle includes a death, or a letting go, or a transition, or a release. You know, it's that release of tension that can feel very challenging. Like, I'm going to make this work. It's not your fault. You were just being you. And chances are you were being projected onto. You know, this is something that I always tell myself. It's most of the time it's not personal. People have stuff going on. But your true friends will always come around and talk about it, you know. They may need space if it's something intense, but they'll always let you know. I want to pull one other card. Inner truth, wisdom, insight, clarity, purity, intuitive knowing, penetrating illusion. So the illusion is that you think you're not good enough, or there's an admiration for this person, or you've known them a really long time and they're like a brother or a sister, they're like family. So people change, and sometimes the changes over time are so subtle and so small. You know, there's an absolute truth to people are who they are, they're the core of who they are. But different aspects of people's personalities come out more or less in different aspects of their life based on what's going on in their personal life, what their growth process or lack of growth process is like, or the traumas or events or the things that have happened to them. And so something that could have been just a slight little, you know, oh yeah, she tends to be a little bit about herself, but you know, we always have a fun time together, and you know, we always have deep conversations about spirituality, and we go to yoga together. And then, you know, 10 years later, that person has become more of a narcissist and all they care about is themselves. And so you can't blame yourself for not seeing little shifts that happen over time, especially when it's someone that you love and you care about, who's like family, or that you're very, very close to, or that you or that you feel very connected to. So you deserve to be with people that appreciate you. And that just think that you're really cool, you know? And you know, when there can be a riff, when there's a riff, and two mature adults can come together and just talk about it, and someone can, in a calm and collected and direct and truthful and honest way, say, oh, you did that, and I'm not, can you tell me about that? Or that upset me, or that hurt me, or I don't understand why you did that. That is gold. And to come back and to be able to accept that somebody might have done something and you can work it out, whether it's you've done it or they've done it. And it can be discussed and cleared up. That creates intimacy. But when people can't let things go, and it's sort of like the talk happens 25,000 times, it could be time to let it go. I'm gonna leave it at that, because I think that if this is resonating with you, you know you've been getting your own insights through this too, because this is a collaboration, and this should be sparking your own inner knowing and your own intuition and your own inner dialogue. And that's what I want. So you deserve wonderful friends. And they are there, and it can be really difficult as an adult. But I guarantee you, as somebody who thought like having to cut people out of my own life or let people go out of my own life, that once you make room, the others do come. And they may not come the next day. It may take a little bit of time, but they do come. And so it's sort of like letting them drift down a quiet river. It's like the Amazon River at night. You know, the Amazon River kind of winds like this if you see it from above. It's kind of winds like a snake, and it's almost like they're getting on a boat. You're laying them to rest, if that resonates, or they're just taking a journey and they're putting their bags, and let them just float down the river without any argument, without using any more of your own energy on this. Say what needs to be said, but self-protect and conserve your own energy. All right, my love. If this helped you, if it supported you, please give it a thumbs up. I would love it if you would join the community. I would love to connect with you more, and I will see you next time.